radius, and can you draw a sketch of this graph? All right, so if you look back up at the top here, you have this right here, this equation, and the center is HK, the radius is R, not R squared. So this right here is R squared. Our center would have H being opposite. It would have K being opposite because now we have that going, okay, because it's opposite of H and opposite of K. So our center would be 3, 2, 3, 2, and then our radius would not be 16. It would not be 16. What would it be? It would be 4, exactly, because the radius squared is 16. So then that would be the square root of 16, which is 4. So R is 4. So identify the radius, identify the center, and then sketch the graph. So if you're sketching the graph, you would just draw your center. It's pretty simple. If I just had a really rough sketch going on here, I'll just do that to the side. So we go over 1, 2, 3, up 2, and here's our center. Our radius is a distance of 4, so all you do is you count down 4 from here. 1, 2, 3, 4. That right there is about that part of the circle, and then it's going to come over here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, up to there, and then over here 1, 2, 3, 4, right there. So if your circle kind of had those bounds, you would necessarily curve the circle like this. I don't know how perfect I'm going to draw this, but this is the idea. That's kind of like how the circle should look. So that's how you sketch the graph. Very simple. You just identify the center, plot the center, identify the radius, that's R squared right there, so take the square root of that number, and then that's your radius, which means this distance from the center to any point on the circle. Okay? Which is R. Okay, so that's an example of that. We'll, can you, yes?
Okay, what happens to the negatives when you put them in the coordinates? So -3 and -2 put them in, and then it's just a positive when you put it.
Yeah, so H and K are opposite.
They're both, it's always going to be opposite?
For a circle. Yes. Good question. I'll take more questions after I'm done. I need to get another example in before I stop recording here. Okay, let's look at an example where I give you an equation and we complete the square. And we complete the square. Here's one of these examples. So different type of question, example 2, and then we'll go back and do some practice on example 1 and so on and so forth. Okay, here you go. So let's say you're given this, x squared plus y squared. This equation is going to have a completely different form, but you're just going to take it and put it in the form of a circle, and I'm going to show you how to do that. So copy that, please, and then what we're going to do first is we're going to complete the square. Okay, so you're going to identify the center, the radius. As you can see in the homework, this is what you're going to have to do. It says identify the center and radius of each. So what we're going to do is identify the center and the radius of this circle here. And again, we have to complete the square to do this. All right, so you can reorder. We're going to reorder this, okay, and complete the square. Why am I going to reorder? Well, so it's easier to complete the square. So we're going to have to complete the square twice, sort of. Okay, watch this. So we reorder it like this. Go x squared. We have our x squared term first, and then we're going to have space where we're going to put some of our other terms in there that are going to help us complete the square, and then we're going to go plus a y squared. So I'm going to go plus, I'm going to go plus 10x because I'm looking at the wrong example here, but yeah. So 10x, and then plus y squared minus 4y, and then there's going to be a space here where you're going to write something. And then you're going to take that 21 and you're going to move it over to the other side. So I'm going to subtract that 21 from both sides and put it over on the right. So the numbers are all on the right. Now I've got negative 21 on the right. So what I've got here is I've got two things, two variables I have to complete the square for. So just think of each one separate. So first one I'm going to think of is the x. I've got to complete the square for the x. Then I've got to complete the square for the y. So this is the b term. And remember, when we complete the square, we add b divided by 2 squared to both sides. So that's what goes here. We're going to add that to both sides. If we add it here, then we're going to have to add it over here. And what if we add here? We're going to have to add over here too because it's an equation. Okay, so we're going to have to add this to both sides. Well, what is b? It's 10. So I'm going to take 10. I'm going to cut 10 in half, make it 5, and square it. So 10 divided by 2 squared is 25. So I add 25 here. All right? Now, I take the negative 4. I cut it in half. I square it. What do I get? 4. Okay? So I add 4 right there. So what I'm going to do is, because I added 25 here and 4 here, I'm going to have to do that on the other side as well. So here we go. Plus 25 and plus 4, because that's treating the equation as it should be treated. It's an equation. But now what we can do is we can take the things in these purple brackets and factor it. We can factor this into a binomial squared. And what does that factor into? It factors into x plus 5 squared. Because that's how that factors. X plus 5 times x plus 5 will multiply out into that. And what does this factor into? Y minus 2 squared. So we just factored the purple bracket here into that. We factored the purple bracket here into that. Why did we do that? Well, it's starting to actually look like the format of a circle equation. And now we just do this math over on this side. Negative 21 plus 25, well, I know that's 4, positive 4, and then, wait, is that right? Yeah, that's right. And then plus another 4, that's 8. So I've got 8 over on this side. So now I have the equation of a circle by completing the square. I reordered both. I completed the square of x and for y, right here and here. And now I have the equation of a circle. So let's identify our center and our radius. That's all we had to do. So our center is, this is very easy from here if you know how to read the equation. The center is hk, so yeah, h and k are opposite. So negative 5, positive 2. So that's our center. And then our radius, trick question, is it 8? Remember, this is r squared. It's not 4 squared. You take the square root of the 8. So the square root of the 8 is, the square root of 8 is not 2. It's 2 root 2. But you can go like this. Okay? And then you can simplify it if you would like, but like that. It simplifies to root 4 times root 2, which is 2 root 2. So the radius is 2 root 2. Our center is negative 5, 2. You could easily graph this circle. Sketch the graph of the circle. That's how you complete this. I'm going to cut that video.